Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. Thank you all for watching, for liking, for subscribing. The channel is continuing to grow. I also played in my first um, live tournament in 16 months yesterday. I did okay. I tied for second. Tactics helped me accomplish that. Um, Sadly, it was a quick rated event, so I did not take notation. Uh, but some mostly good chess was played. I plan on playing my regular tournament, my first regular tournament, at some point in the beginning of August. My plan was to do it in July, but nothing is happening in July. So I will keep you all updated. And I will be back to tournament chess soon. Uh, a few words of congratulations. I need to congratulate Joshua. I show his games quite a bit. He played in his first regular rated tournament since last February, and he did really well. He was the lowest rated person in his group. He went undefeated. He gained more than 60 rating points. He reached a new high. So uh, he is obviously getting better. So great job, Joshua. And now we're going to get back to what I started last time, how to find best moves in chess. Um, So we're going to use the puzzle streak on Lichess. Um, and again, when I'm doing this, please pause before each one and try to solve it on your own, and then unpause and see the solution. So again, when you look at moves, whenever you're playing, always look at forcing moves first. Checks captures threats. Here, of course, we check. After the king moves, we take the knight for free. So takes threats. Okay. Here, this check forks and gets us the queen. So we get the queen. Here, again, looking for checks. This is a checkmate. Again, looking for checks. Here, the first one which comes to mind is this, and this is a checkmate. This is an example of pieces working together, because this rook covers this line, this rook covers this line, and this bishop is over here. So, checkmate. Here, looking for checks, we take the combination of the rook and the queen. He goes here, and then we take the knight, and then we take. I'm going through the first 20 fairly quickly because we got through them last time. Here we count attackers and defenders. This is attacked 3 times. We take. If he takes with the queen, queen takes his checkmate. If he moves, queen his checkmate. And checkmate. Looking for checks, there is a discovery. One thing we mentioned last time, pay attention when pieces are on the same line. The queens are on the same line. If we move the bishop, it gets us the queen. So, okay. Looking for checks. This one is a little more interesting. This is a deflection. When we check here, he can take us, but then his rook does not defend the queen. Of course, he doesn't have to take us. He can move the king, but then this is attacked. The rook is attacked twice, so we will just take it. So once again, when you are calculating, sometimes there is more than one line to calculate, and we take the queen. Okay, here there are no checks, so we look for captures. We have 2 possibilities. We can take the bishop with the knight, or we can take it with the rook. If we take with the rook, if we take with the rook, he has this check. If we take with the knight, he does not. And then we attack in both rooks at the same time. So knight takes is the correct option. And yeah, of course, this is just defended. Here, looking for checks. This is double attacked. And when we take, we fork. And we get the queen. Here, looking for checks, we play here, forcing the king here, then we check. That forces the king here, and that walks onto the same line as the queen. So once they're on the same line, queen here will pick up his queen. So again, always look for checks. So check, 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 queen. Here we notice that the knight defends the queen, so when we take it with check and he takes back, the queen is free. Okay, here, looking for checks, we spot this. He has one move. He has to go here, and then queen here is checkmate. Okay, here again looking for checks. When we take, we get rid of the defender of the rook, which means that we will take the rook next. So, okay. Here we have one check which doesn't do anything, so checks don't work. Captures, we don't have any good ones. And here we see an idea which we mentioned previously. When your opponent's piece is stuck too far in your position, start looking for ways to trap it. So rook here makes that queen very upset because it has no squares to go to, and we want the queen. Here looking for checks, we go here. He is forced to go here. Now, because of the spin, we can play knight here, which checks and also covers this square. This, by the way, is my second move. Will be knight here, not knight here. So here, and again, we don't do this because he can escape. But we do this, the advantage of the pin, and it's a checkmate. Okay, again, looking for checks when we take here. We get rid of the defender of the queen. So after he takes us back, we get the queen. And now the queen is free. This one is a little bit more tricky. We take here, there are no checks. I mean, there is that, but that's terrible. So we look at captures. We go here and we have to analyze two possibilities. He can take with the bishop or the queen. If he takes with the bishop, then this opens up. If he takes with the queen, we have this fork. Although I'm wondering if this also works. If we do this first, I guess he can take there then. So I guess that doesn't work. We have to start with this. And now we take here. Okay, so this one is interesting because we can take here. But then he does that. This is complicated, so we have to calculate very far. So, okay, we get the bishop. If he takes, we take back. Life is simple. But we need to calculate this. And we would have to take. Then he'll take our queen. But we don't stop calculating here, because then we check. He's forced to block with his queen. And then we get his queen and we up a piece. So I'll show you on the board. Or he can do that, which makes life a lot easier. Okay, so here again looking for checks. This is a fork. Because this thing is attacked, it's defended. But when we play here, it's double attack. Now he can block, but it's also pinned. So then we get his queen. And he blocks. So obviously we don't take with the bishop, because he takes our queen. And we don't take the queen, because he takes back with the knight. And then there is no knight here. But we take with the queen. I'm going to do about 10 more, just so that you get an idea how to solve slightly harder puzzles. Here they say check, it's a fork. It looks, again, always so for checks. He can block with the queen, which defends, but then his king is protecting his queen, and we can drive him away by checking him with the rook. So we take, and now the king is protecting the queen. So with a forcing move, we force him away from the queen. And we take. Okay. Here there are no good checks. There is this capture which doesn't do too much. And again, this is an example of a piece getting a little bit stuck. When we attack the queen really does not have any escape squares. So we win the queen. Okay, so obviously if we take his queen, he takes ours. But then we can just take the free bishop. Here there are no checks. We'll look for captures, and we can also take with the king. We can take with the bishop. If we take with the bishop, we might suffer from a pin. But if he tries to attack us, we can just defend with the rook. If we do something like this, he will move the bishop out of the way, and we'll be in check, and we would have to abandon the bishop, which is why we have to start with this. And of course, he tries to take advantage, but we simply defend. Okay. Looking for checks, this does not quite seem to work. He can just take back. There is an interesting move which is queen here, which creates a double threat. The point is this is pinned, so when we play queen here, we're attacking this because of our bishop, and we also attacking his bishop. And this is a very interesting try. I hope it works. It works, so he defended the pawn, but now we get the bishop. Okay. Here, there are no good checks. This does not work. This does not work. Captures don't work. I'm wondering if we have threats. I'm wondering if this does something, because attacks the knight, and he can of course defend, but then his position is weird. We can also, if he doesn't defend, if he does this, we just take. So I suspect it just putting more pressure on the knight. Yeah, and now we can just take. And we take. Okay, so here, again, looking for checks. This doesn't work because he just takes us. Let's think. An interesting try could be this followed by this. The idea is to open up this rook. So we go here. He kind of needs to stick to the knight because otherwise we'll take. And so he'll go somewhere, and then we push again. And the whole point is we want to open up our rook. And okay, now he's causing a little bit of trouble. But when we take with check. And okay, now we in check ourselves. So we can't block because he will take us. So we have to run away. Yeah, that one was probably lower rated than it should be. This one is easier. Looking for checks, we go here, which checks the king and at the same time attacks this rook. And now we get the rook. Okay, here, if we check, he blocks. And doesn't seem there is anything there. But we could take the knight in then, so this is also a fork. We don't get a checkmate, but we get the knight. So this should work. So here, and we get the knight. Okay, let's get us to 30. Looking for checks, queen here, forcing the king to go here, and then queen here is checkmate, because our rook covers. And now we checkmate. And last one. This check does not work. Captures, we notice that when we take, there is a pin over here. Always pay attention when things are on the same lines or same diagonals. So when we go here, he would also play g4 at that point, but we would at least win a pawn because we can actually take. Because he can't take back because of the spin. And if he takes here, there will be a free queen. So we take. Yeah, this is easier though, and we just take. Okay. Next time we're going to look at some slightly harder puzzles. Again, remember to always look at forcing moves. Remember the tactics we saw today: forks, skewers, removing the defender. Um, Also, always pay attention when things are on the same line, on the same diagonal. I hope you found this useful. Please like, please subscribe, and I will be back soon. Thank you.